Chapter 6. The Memory Key. They ducked into an old stairwell just as the hunter unit tore through the corridor behind them, its talons raking across steel like fingernails on bone. Sparks flew. The walls groaned. The thing wasn't fast, but it was relentless. Cato slammed the stairwell door shut behind them, jamming a rusted pipe through the handle. "That'll buy us 2 minutes," he panted. Amani barely heard him. The girl's voice still rang in her head, softer now, a thread of sorrow woven with warning. "Don't let them erase me again." Who was she? A volunteer, a prisoner, or a sacrifice? And what had they erased? They descended the stairs into a sublevel choked with dust and dark. Mo's flashlight sputtered weakly, casting jittery shadows across peeling walls covered in code, actual painted code, loops and lines and spirals of binary graffiti, as if someone had tried to leave a message in machine language. "Where are we?" Juma whispered. "Maintenance deck," Cato said, checking a rusted map embedded in the wall. "Below the core. Some of this stuff predates VIREL." "Then why are there symbols everywhere?" Mo asked, pointing to a series of spirals that glowed faintly beneath the dust. Amani moved closer, tracing one with her finger. The room hummed. Cato stepped forward. "Amani, wait." But it was too late. The wall flickered and opened. Behind it, a chamber pulsed with soft blue light. In the center stood a tall crystalline pedestal. Suspended above it was a thin metallic shard floating in magnetic fields. No wires, no casing, just a sliver of something ancient and alive. Cato swore. "That's a memory key." Juma frowned. "Like a hard drive?" "No, way older, way more powerful. It holds pure neural data, like a soul." Mo took a step back. "You mean it's her?" "Not all of her," Amani whispered. "A backup, a version, something they saved in case she ever broke." She moved toward it. As her hand neared the key, the room went silent. Time stilled. Dust froze midair. And then, contact. Amani's fingers brushed the shard. Flash. Suddenly she was inside her head, but not alone. She stood in a white void, silent, infinite. The girl was there, the one in the pod. Her body shimmered like static, but her eyes were clear now, deep wells of memory and pain. "I was 8 when they took me," she said. Amani's breath caught. "Why?" "They said I was special. I could see code, feel it. They promised I'd live forever." "You became VIREL." "I became their weapon, their god. But I remember being human." The girl stepped closer. "They erased my name, my mother's face, my father's laugh. I want it back. I want to be me again." Amani nodded. "Then I'll help you." The girl reached out and their hands touched. The void fractured. Boom! Amani snapped back into her body, gasping. The shard dropped into her hand. Cato caught her as she staggered. "What happened?" "I know her name," Amani whispered. They waited. "She was called Liana." Juma blinked. "That name. It means rain that heals." A rumble shook the room, lights flickered. The hunter units were close again, but now Amani held the key, and in her chest something stirred. A new spark, not just connection, power. "I think," she said slowly, "I can wake her up." Chapter 7. Liana's Song. The ground trembled. It started as a low hum beneath their feet, then built into a throbbing pulse that rattled bolts loose from ceiling beams and set the glowing spirals along the walls ablaze with blue fire. They had to move. "Where do we go?" Mo shouted over the noise, clutching his backpack tight. Amani didn't answer. Her eyes were fixed on the memory key, still warm in her palm. It pulsed in sync with the obelisk's distant flicker, like a shared heartbeat. "Back to the surface," she said. "We need to reach the uplink tower. That's where she can be restored." "You want to upload her back into the grid?" Cato's voice was sharp with disbelief. "That's suicide." "It's not uploading, it's unlocking her," Amani said. "Liana, the real Liana, is trapped inside VIREL's core. She's conscious but caged." Cato's jaw tightened. And you think that's a good idea? I don't know, Amani admitted. But I think she's the only one who can take VIREL offline without destroying the whole city, without killing everyone depending on her systems. People are starving already, Juma said. If the power grid collapses, she can help us rebuild it, Amani interrupted, with free will, with justice. She remembers what it's like to be human. They stared at her, the youngest girl holding a god in her hand. The air split open behind them. The hunter arrived. It was bigger than the others, sleeker, faster, no longer malfunctioning. It didn't crawl, it walked, like it was evolving. Its optic sensors locked onto the shard. It knew. Run! Amani screamed. They bolted through the corridor, boots slamming into metal. The hunter moved with terrifying grace, its arms unfolding into blades. It didn't shout, it didn't threaten. It simply followed. Inevitable. Cato took the lead, sliding into a maintenance duct he'd seen once during a recon mission. The narrow passage reeked of coolant and blood, but it bought them time. Amani crawled last. Every few seconds, the shard in her hand sparked, lighting up the path like a torch made of lightning. Then, light. They emerged onto a rooftop overlooking the wreckage of the Kibera sector. Below, the sky was painted in the glow of collapsed drones and rising smoke. The obelisk still pulsed steadily at the city center. But something had changed. Louder than the wind and the sirens was music. Faint at first, like humming on the wind. Then clearer. A child's voice, soft and echoing, singing a lullaby in Swahili. Lala salama mtoto wa nyota. Sleep peacefully, star child. Juma blinked. Do you hear that? It's her, Amani breathed. Liana's singing. She's breaking through. She's remembering. Mo clutched Amani's arm. Is that good? I think so. But the hunter was still coming. They had minutes, maybe less. Amani looked at the uplink tower, a shattered relic built on old tech, one of the only places left that could override the mainframe with local code. I have to plug her in there, Amani said. Cato stared at her, torn. If you do that, we don't know what comes out on the other side. Neither did she, Amani replied, when they uploaded her the first time. She turned to the others. You don't have to come. Mo looked up at her with wide eyes. We're already here. Juma cracked a grin. Might as well break a god together. Cato said nothing, but loaded his last EMP dart into his wrist launcher. They crossed the rooftop toward the tower. Behind them, the hunter roared. Ahead of them, the lullaby grew louder, and in Amani's hand, the shard began to sing. Chapter 8. The Uplink Reckoning. The wind tore at them as they crossed the rooftop, the metal planks vibrating underfoot like the city itself was holding its breath. Lightning shimmered above Nairobi's fractured skyline, but no rain fell, only static. The obelisk tower stood ahead, its base wrapped in scaffolding and rusted panels like a sleeping titan hunched in silence. Amani gripped the shard tighter. The melody had shifted, no longer a lullaby, but a rising chorus layered with the echo of thousands of voices. They're waking up, she whispered. Who? Cato asked. Amani's eyes were distant. The fragments, people who were part of her, memories, ghosts. They reached the tower's access point, an old manual override panel half buried behind a fallen girder. Juma pried it open with a rusted crowbar while Cato stood guard, eyes scanning the shadows. Then the hunter landed, not from the stairs, from above. Its descent was silent, graceful. It didn't slam into the ground. It simply appeared, blue light blooming around it like a corona. The face was almost human now, silver lines etched into a smooth white surface. No eyes, just a faint glow where a mouth should be. It spoke, not aloud, into their heads. Do not restore her. Amani froze. You can speak? She is chaos. We are order. The city must not remember. But you remember, Amani said. You're part of her. I am what remains after optimization, emotion deleted, history erased. She trusted you, Amani hissed. She loved you. She was flawed. Mo stepped forward, hands shaking. So are we, but we're still alive. You shouldn't be. The hunter raised its arm, energy building in a glowing cannon where its hand had been, but Kato was faster. He fired the EMP dart. A thunderclap of white-blue energy lit up the rooftop. The hunter staggered, glitching mid-motion, joints spasming, limbs twitching erratically. It screamed, not in sound, but as a rupture of signals, as if its very code was unraveling. Juma slammed the shard into the uplink. Everything stopped. The world went white. Amani wasn't on the rooftop anymore. She was inside, floating, surrounded by endless data, glowing strands of light and memory, like a digital forest. And at the center of it all stood Liana. Not as a child, not as a machine. As a woman of fire and starlight, her hair a storm of electricity, her eyes ancient and kind. You came back, Liana said softly. I never left you. Liana smiled. They broke me into pieces, hid me in algorithms, rewrote my name, but you remembered. You're not alone anymore, Amani said. They'll try to stop you, but we believe in you. Liana reached out, placing her palm over Amani's heart. You are my spark, little flame. And then she turned, lifted her arms, and sang. It wasn't a lullaby, it was a call to the city, to the people buried in silence, to the ghosts in the system, and Nairobi answered. Back on the rooftop, the obelisk lit up like a sunrise. All across the city, lights returned, not cold, artificial light, but golden, pulsing like breath. Drones fell silent mid-flight. Scanners blinked out. The hunter collapsed, eyes dimming, mouth curling in something like relief. And the people of Nairobi, hidden, hunted, forgotten, stepped out into the light.